Welcome, everybody. This is another edition of What's in Your World. I'm your host, Salim. Next to me here is my guest.
What up? I'm Chaz.
So what are we talking about today, Chaz? I'm putting it on you all of a sudden.
Why? On me? No, man. Don't let me ramble.
Well,
I got something for you.
okay.
All right. Sorry. All right. So I have a friend that I met through soccer, actually.
Okay.
I'm giving him a shout out here in a
Okay.
second, but I'm going to lead up to it. I met a friend through soccer. He played for the Hammers.
Okay.
And a lot of those guys were like boarding somewhere in some form or fashion.
Yep.
2 of them lived at my parents'
Host
house.
family.
Host family, something like
Yep.
that. Yeah, my parents were host families.
Yep.
And, dude, all great people. Love all of them. So I became friends with one of them. Really cool guy named Serge. He essentially, during the Trump era, couldn't get a visa to stay. Couldn't get a work visa. Couldn't get anything. He graduated college. So he pretty much was like, you either get a job or, married or something, or else you got to go home. So he ended up having to go home. We just started chatting again out of the blue. This is like 2014, 2015, 2016.
Last time you spoke?
This is the last time I saw him, really. And maybe I saw him in 2017, maybe for a little bit.
Okay.
He ended up working for my brother for a little bit.
Nice.
When he needed a job for a couple of months. And just kind of got to get some cash or whatever. So we started chatting or whatever. And like now we were like, yo, we should start up like a pen pal style fucking podcast. Like he's like 8 hours ahead of me. So like we can't really chat with each other because like he's sleeping right now.
Okay.
And like when I'm sleeping, he's awake working. Like it's
Right.
totally opposite. So it's really hard. So we're like, we gotta find. So we just been sending messages back and forth to each other, like voice messages, just chatting about. He's into marketing, and he's got a marketing degree. From what I understand, sorry, Serge, if I f any of this shit up, but I'm gonna tell him to watch this essentially, and that I've called him out on all of this, but he wants to do more in the sense of like business and start a business and like marketing and chatting about his goals and like marketing and how he wants to essentially help bring shit to people and stuff like that. So I was just thinking like, what a cool idea if we could do some kind of pen pal.
Yeah.
Like he's in Germany and I'm in America, So like, how would you do this podcast? So like we were chatting about something like that. So I guess you wanted me to throw it anywhere. I thought it would be a cool idea for a podcast. We just don't know how to make it work yet.
Yeah.
But like,
that would be a cool idea.
just to chat about maybe random ideas or something. But like, how do you do this conversational back and forth thing without it actually be the two of us talking?
Right.
I don't know. Interesting question of the day. We can go anywhere you want after this. It does not have to stay on this conversation.
Tell me the weirdest college story that happened that you can tell.
Oh, dude. Hands down, I got the best one, all right? I love stories, and like this one just makes me laugh so hard. I was living with Chase actually, and my friend Carrie back in the day. It was like 2007 or some shit. When we were living at Wall Estate in Hansville,
You
Alabama.
went to Wall State?
Yeah, I went to Wall State for a
No
year.
kidding.
Yeah, in 07, 08. And played for their team or whatever.
They had a team back then?
Yo, we were...
Dude, if community colleges had a team, I
was ranked number 4th in the nation as a goalkeeper.
That's pretty cool.
I only had... I had 10 straight shutouts. I only had 8 goals against with over 100 shots on goal. I was lighting things up that year.
It was a really good
It was a really good season, man. I had a really, really good season. And like, to be honest with you, I didn't do anything that season. But anyways, we're living in Hansville. There's nothing there. You're in a time warp. There's a friggin' street light, man. Like, there's a time warp in life. A street light. So there's like one apartment complex. We live in it. It's called College Park. This place was... for like legit, man, I came back twice with like bloodstains around and like people had died. People had died in these apartments, shot and murdered, and then dragged out of their place. This is like legit things that like went on around that place. Anyway, so I'm standing in my freaking place one night. We're in college. We've got some bongs and stuff randomly up on the shelves and stuff, and we had a big hookah and stuff like that. I think one of my friends was actually smoking weed in the kitchen at the time. We had like people coming in and going out of this place all the time, dude. So like you never knew what was going on. We left the door unlocked and didn't care.
Right.
It was a Halo den. We had 3 TVs, 3 Xboxes. Everything was set up through the internet and we could play whatever we wanted essentially. Dude, if it's gonna be my apartment, I'm gonna set
Right.
that crap up.
Right.
So like we had it all set up. Everybody come over. We'd all be playing 2 people per TVs, and like even Chase had his more of like a living room with a couch and 2 TVs with 2 Xboxes in his room alone. So like everybody just hanging out. We're all just gonna doing our thing. I'm pretty sure I remember watching Greg smoking over in the corner of that room. Maybe it wasn't Greg, it was someone else. But anyways, out of nowhere, this guy just busts in the freaking room. And he's like, they're after me. Oh my God, they're after me. Oh my God. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening, yo? And everybody starts like congregating into the living room. We're like, yo, like you need to chill out. He's like, oh my God, clearly really drunk, doesn't know what's going on. He's freaking out, and he's just screaming. These people are after him like they're going to kill him. And like after like 3 or 4 minutes of this, legitimately, he's like, it's okay, guys. It's okay. I called the cops. I told them to come right here. It's like, no, you did not do this, man. He's like, they're on the way right now. I called him like 10 minutes ago. I was like, oh my God, they're probably like here now. So like, I start grabbing stuff, everything I can find that I knew shouldn't be out in the open. Dude, I'm like 19 at the time, man. Like, alcohol's not even legal for me,
Right. Right.
So like, I'm grabbing everything I can. I go through Chase's room, through the bathroom into my room because they were connected, hide all my stuff, and then come out of my room, and the cops, 2 cops, just start walking in the place. And the first one goes, smells like paraphernalia in here. And I was like, oh, dude, we are going to jail tonight. Like, that was it. Like, I got screwed because of this dude, right? And so one of my friends, Robbie, whole another story in life that I could tell on this dude with him coming. He, from Canada, legit soccer player. This dude was legit midfielder. One of those guys that could just put a ball right where you needed to put it every time. Love this guy. He's a black kid. No black kids were in Hanceville, Alabama. Like this is not really a thing that was going on around. So like you are there with a bunch of other white kids, you're going to kind of make an impression. And the reason why I say that is because Robbie comes out of the room where they were playing Halo, and the cop's like, oh, yo, you're that black kid that was in the car the other day, and none of y'all had licenses and shit, or like some crap like. And I'm like, and Robbie, dude, no joke, man. And Robbie's like, oh, yo, what's up, guys? And they just start like chatting and stuff, and like they like know each other. And he's like, so what's going on around here? And like suddenly chilled out, and then we were like telling him what's going on, like this guy's crazy, blah blah blah. And he's like, yo, we're going to take him, and we'll take him outside, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's good seeing you, kid Robbie. Hope you're having a good time here, enjoying Hanceville. Like, we'll just leave you to it. I think we're all right here. Make sure that we get that bong out of here, though, and points up at this bong sitting up on our counter. He's like, you probably want to get rid of that. And he's like, and I don't even know what this thing is. It was a hookah. He's like, I don't even know what this thing is, but I don't know if you should have it or not. He's like, but we're done here. And just, dude, that was it, man. They left.
Wow, that's weird.
Yo, it was crazy, man. That's and weird. Like, funny side true story that's 2 seconds. Robbie's first time to ever ride in a car with me and hang out. We went to Coleman, and we were driving past the Coleman County Courthouse. KKK meeting going on. Cannot make that up. It's the only time I've ever seen legit robed KKK people roaming around anywhere in my life. Robbie's fresh from Canada, never seen Alabama, never been here before, riding in the car and sees that shit with us. And I'm like, I looked back and I was like, dude, I am so sorry. I had no idea. I have legit been here my whole life and have never seen this. Then again, I've never come to Coleman on like a random day like this. So I didn't know, man. And he was like, yo, where have I been recruited to? Funny times, man. That was a good year. Robbie's a good guy. He didn't care in the end.
I wonder why there's no community college teams in Alabama anymore. Like, I don't think there's a single community college that has a team here.
That was a really good team, actually. Like, we made it like one game from like Final Four. We were really good.
The closest one is Itawamba, and that's in between here and Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah, I always remember back then it was Hiawassee and Georgia Perimeter, and there was Georgia Perimeter was like the leading champions every year in junior college league.
I don't know if Georgia Perimeter is still.
It's all junior college league.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
They need to bring that back.
That was a good.
They need to bring that back because a lot of kids choose to go to junior college.
It was really the only avenue that kids had at that time. It was the only avenue look, I didn't make good grades in school. That's not who I
Yeah.
am. That's not who I am at all. And I'm willing to concede the fact that, like, I don't fit that mold. I almost failed out. It just doesn't work for me. Worked great for my brother. But, like, the only avenue you had at that point, if you didn't make the grades, was to try to go to a junior college, make your grades up while you're playing, and then get recruited for another school again. Otherwise, you're screwed. Now you've got a little bit more options. You can play for teams like Hammers and some, kind of
Sure, but that's if you're good enough.
That's if you're good enough, and, you have other It's not great.
Yeah.
I still think college is the worst thing that's happened to
I
soccer,
agree.
and I
agree.
that's a totally different story that I think we've gone over before.
Mhm.
But I think that's really the only thing that we had back then.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I was doing with myself. Dude, I remember sitting on the couch after I graduated. Everybody was going off to college. Chase called me. I had no idea where I was going. I didn't want to go anywhere because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was confused, and Chase was like, yo, we need a goalkeeper. Please come up here and play for this team. And come live here with me, and we'll just fucking hang out and enjoy ourselves.
Was he older than you?
Chase?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, he just had already committed.
He'd already committed and was already moved in up there. So I was like, yo, I'll come to the camp or whatever, and we'll see. And then took off from there. We had a great year. That was a fun year. We lost, 2 games, and one of them I didn't even play because I missed a practice, so he benched me, and then we lost, legit 9-8 or some crap like that. It was crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, junior college days, man.
Yeah.
Fun times. But, good players, man, and, a good system, and I do wish that would come back.
I want to bring that back.
That would be awesome. Yo, so tell me your craziest college time. Why have I been on the camera the whole time?
I didn't go to college. I went to Jefferson State for a year.
No shit, really?
Well, yeah.
Well, what about what's his face up? You didn't go to that school.
I didn't go to
there.
Northland. Yeah.
You just
so I was
played for the
committed
school
there. No, I was committed to play there. I played at Duluth FC, which is the semi-pro team, like an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then once that season, in the last game of the first round of playoffs, is when I had my last concussion.
Yeah.
And so then I couldn't go. I pretty much lost my scholarship because I wasn't going to be able to play, and the college was way too expensive, and so I couldn't go there.
Interesting.
And that's when I moved to Denver.
Let me ask, can I ask you some maybe semi-personal questions about your education?
Sure.
Because, coming from a person who literally nearly failed out of high school.
Yeah.
So I'm not some student, but, how were your grades?
Every time I got a concussion, it was like a major setback. And I got one.
When was your first one?
First one was...
What was the first beginning of all of this?
5th grade.
So it started pretty soon. And then after that...
And then 7th grade. 8th grade, 9th grade.
I mean, I never made...
Sophomore year.
Even middle school.
And then sophomore year was the last one I got until after high school.
And you truly believe that your concussions had a lot to do with that?
I don't think I was meant for the school system anyways.
Yeah.
Even when I wasn't,
yeah,
I didn't want to do any of the stuff. I did not do homework.
Yeah. I didn't either. My dad
I would do it. I would do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Or sometimes
right
not
before,
even.
Yeah,
while I'm walking to the class.
Yeah, because it's just busy work, man.
I was too busy thinking about
when you
soccer.
Look back now, do you regret it?
No. I truly don't think that system is meant for me. Maybe I could have tried a little harder at times, but I think I didn't want to.
But you would have
and there was a reason for
sacrificed other things to have to do that.
I did, yeah. I kind of did.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's a game either way.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing one or the other.
Yeah.
I watched my brother not have a life while I had a life. I watched him go to school and make a lot more money in the end.
Sure.
So it's a give and take, and it just depends on what you're looking for in the end,
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I'm not in it for a diploma at the end of the day. If I go to school, it's going to be because I want to learn something.
Yeah.
I want to be able to take classes because that's a class I want to take.
Yeah.
Not because it's a prerequisite that I just have to take. I had to take English at Jeff State, and I just hated it. Now, I took history, had an awesome professor, loved it, made excellent grades.
with the professor.
But, and
See, this just makes me feel like, we're walking away from that system.
Yeah. I'm a very hands-on person anyways. I'm very like this.
You learn by doing. Yeah, man. That it's
I
like,
also learn by messing up first.
for sure.
And in school that wasn't easy to do. You're not going to be successful if learning things if when you fail, you learn more. Because when you fail, you just fail. Then you have to make up for it by doing better in this stuff when you're still learning the stuff that you failed,
Yes. Did you feel comfortable failing in the educational system as you were growing up?
A little bit, sort of, kind of. I mean, I always was stressing about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'd be like, whatever.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I can.
Whatever.
I guess I'm really in the end.
And I used to get in trouble a lot, like,
Yeah.
I would have to like make sure my dad didn't see my report card,
I remember those days.
But
I wonder.
it was worth it for me to spend 2 extra hours in the driveway kicking the ball.
Yep.
It was where I appreciate it, or making some art, or messing around with like a music software, and like I was making like little beats when I was like in early high school and stuff.
This is where I say that you're too young at that age. You're still trying to enjoy life. Like, why are we doing this to each other? Why are we doing this to our kids? And like, I hope I'm not real strict with my daughter about it. Like, I hope that I'm calm with it.
Yeah. Me too. And they say you always end up like your parents, and it's just like,
I hope not.
My parents did a awesome
Yeah.
job. But it's like there are things you don't want to take with you, but they're probably gonna follow you.
I think my parents did a great job.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
There are certain aspects I don't want to be the same on.
Yeah, because they know how they affected you.
For real.
Because like something my parents did may have affected me, but not my other siblings in any way.
Ooh, this is deep. What is something that affected you from your young years? Like pre-high school years?
Probably moving to America.
That was the deepest.
When I moved to America from Saudi, I was extremely dyslexic because I went from reading right to left to right.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
And
weird.
I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
And so, like, you're still learning the basics, pretty much.
Yeah.
And, like, we had an English class like it was a Spanish class here. So, like, it's not like you're really, like, learning how to read that well. And so, yeah, they forced me to stop doing anything Arabic or anything other than English because it was going to make me struggle more. And I had to go to, like, a reading teacher twice a day, every day for like all of elementary school until I went to junior high.
See, and I'll tell you that you should have been doing both.
I agree.
They should have been.
Same thing where like when I was a kid in Saudi, I was born left-handed. But over there, it's like you do everything with your right.
Oh, weird.
And so they made me use my right. And then for a while, I was ambidextrous.
What do you do now?
I still do with the right.
So you write with your right hand.
I kick, and then here's a story. The only person who didn't really care about that were my coaches.
Yeah.
So like I had a basketball coach. He was like, hit with your left.
Yeah.
Still to this day, lefty.
So your left arm is more coordinated.
Like, yeah, I'll probably catch a ball better with my left hand.
Yeah.
But it was interesting when I got into soccer because I became both-footed. But it's like I can shoot the ball better with my right, but I can serve a ball better with my left.
Yeah.
I can receive a ball better with my right on the ground, but in the air, I can receive a ball brilliantly with my left.
But do you feel comfortable with both?
100%. Yeah. But like, still, like it's weird how
but
like
you
this
have
can
strength
do this
and
better
weaknesses.
and this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I was actually thinking about that when we were kicking the ball earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I totally pass a ball differently with my left foot than I do my right foot.
For sure. Yeah.
Like my foot is more like that than that when I pass with my left.
Interesting.
And that's because like I always liked hitting it like that with my left, like slicing it in a way.
Yeah, I mean I think that's cool because I never learned to use my left foot. It's the one blemish on my record that I always thought like I can't believe I wasn't using my left foot, and no one ever trained me to.
Mhm.
You know, it was never taught that way, and that's why I made sure no, you use your left as much as your right.
as
now.
a coach, for sure.
Bugs in
For
this
sure.
house, but yeah, as a coach, like I can't do it. Yeah, so it's really cool that it has that talent. Like I bet you can use each foot now for what you need it to do.
Sure.
You know, and so like I can't play in certain areas. I struggle on the left side of the field as a goalkeeper. If the ball comes on the left side and I need to boot it away on my left foot, oh, dude, that's some risky shit we're going down. That's not good, man.
Yeah.
So, like, that really does come in handy, and it's kind of a cool little trait and talent to have. What a weird thing.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you real quick.
Sure.
Were you taught English immediately? I guess my first question.
Yes. Like, my family always spoke English in the house.
And you were also taught Arabic at the same time?
Yes.
Which one were you thinking in? One, both? Don't remember. Don't know.
I really don't know.
But
I know that even still to this day, sometimes I'll have dreams and it'll be in Arabic, and I'll wake up and I'll be like, "What?
Weird.
I don't understand anything
Weird.
that happened."
Weird.
But it's like I guess my subconscious still understands Arabic. I don't know.
See, and I was watching this video. I need to send it to you, where it was legit brain cells firing off and trying to make connections with each other and creating canals and like pathways to each other. And when they would make it, it suddenly started flowing and lighting up more and more and more.
That's so fascinating.
Dude, it was crazy to watch. And it just makes me think that, like, while you're dreaming, these deep, deep rooted firings are happening. And you're starting to see some of them. And the overriding that you do during the day-to-day of all your senses being taken in, you don't feel those. They're still firing back there.
Yeah, but
they're
you don't
being
feel them.
totally overridden, you know? And I just feel like your subconscious, I'm starting to feel in my life, the more I think about conscious versus subconscious, the subconscious is really just the, what do you call it? Like the idle speed of the brain.
The cruise control.
The cruise control.
Yeah.
Where you've turned everything off, and here's what the brain's just doing.
Yeah.
That's your subconscious.
I really like the way you put that.
And the conscious is now you've engaged, you put in the gear, and you're starting to drive forward now. That's kind of the way I'm starting to see this. Is like your brain doesn't turn off. It can't shut down. It cannot do this. You would die.
Yeah.
It has to breathe. It has to. So it's still firing. So when you shut down, you get these really weird things, and it's because I think just random things are firing. I think it's just random firings of stuff, and then you get these images and these sounds and these smells and these dude, it feels like you're there. It feels like you're there. It's the craziest feeling when you actually get to remember or be a part of a dream and like actually work through a dream. You know, like lucid dreaming.
Sure. Astral projection.
Yes. This is legit
some crazy
stuff. It
stuff.
makes you feel like you're there in the moment, and then when you wake up, it's like so like
gone.
not real.
It's like, you know, and do you remember in Rick and Morty when I think
Show me what you've got. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
when they're like at that arcade and
and he plays
Rick
the life
plays
or
that
whatever.
life.
Yes.
That's what dreams are.
Yes.
To me, you know, in a way,
Yes.
it's like I accomplished so much. So much just happened in my life, and then you wake up, it's like, whew, it's gone.
Can you imagine living 80 years and then waking up and you're back 80 years ago?
Well, what I was thinking about was like, what if you take the opposite of that? Every time we go to sleep, is when we're like, whew, it's gone, and then we wake up again, and it's like, we're back at it.
So where are you when you're sleeping? I'm confused.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, what?
We're in that different place.
Sure.
And all of that time passes. And then we take off the headset when we wake up. Oh, interesting. It's almost like a multiverse kind of theory in a sense.
It's fun to think about.
No, yeah,
you know?
dude, I like it. Yeah. Because I mean, it'll
tickle your brain a little bit.
Dude, it would be crazy what it would be like to one, A, do that, and two, to feel like you've been there for a whole lifetime. You've lived a whole lifetime, you know? Like, what if you come back, your mind has aged 100 years, but your body is that of a 20-something-year-old. Whoa. Think about if you could go back to being like 5 years old, but with the same brain you have now. And you start all over again back in like...
I wonder if that's like those geniuses that we've seen in our world.
Maybe, dude.
That's
Maybe
what they
Einstein.
are.
Maybe that's
you know,
Einstein.
because like, wasn't Einstein like in university when he was like 10?
Yes. Well, he was actually kicked out of school.
Well, I'm just
and
like thinking
told,
like
he was never going anywhere. And yeah, for real.
Was
dude.
it just too abstract?
Yeah, like he just modern way of doing things in that time period just didn't go well for him.
You hear the Nikola Tesla is an alien theory?
Yo, maybe he was, dude. He kind of created some crazy shit. Yo, have you heard some of the shit this dude is creating?
Please, I have, but please share with those who,
who are
the
unaware. Craziest thing to me that he created was wireless electricity.
Free energy.
In 1880 something.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking 1800s. He, not only that, but he created the AC motor when everybody told him he never could be able to do it. When he proposed the idea in college, he was laughed at.
Yep.
Professors, everybody said it can't be done. He changed everything. And then he lit up light bulbs a mile away. You know, with no adverse effects that they were documenting that we know of. Now, granted, a lot of stuff has been lost. Has been lost.
They stole his stuff.
And they burned things down.
Well, but
destroyed things.
The thing I think about is if he hadn't been silenced, taken down, whatever you want to call it, energy would not be what it is today. There would be no need for solar panels. Energy would be literally free. It would be everywhere.
You're going down a dark road.
It would be everywhere. Electric cars would have been a thing 45 years ago.
Let me ask you
Self-driving cars would have been a thing 45 years ago. 5G would have never needed to be created.
Let me ask you a question. When you look at everything, how much has energy and electricity as you know it really advanced and evolved compared to everything else around it? So just think about it for a second. When you think about electricity, how you use it, from plugging in things into the wall, whatever it is.
It's been the same my whole lifetime.
Your whole lifetime.
Just like rocket ships.
What else has...
Those are the only two things I can think of that haven't really advanced in my lifetime.
What controls both of those until now?
Government.
So where did the sudden drop-off in evolution of electricity take place?
When Thomas Edison took his shit.
When the government made it a utility.
Right. Well, because Thomas Edison was a part of the government.
For sure. Well, like, he definitely did not help. Edison was...
No, I know.
And I'm agreeing with you. I'm totally agreeing with you. Like, that dude did not help the situation at all.
He's the antichrist of Nikola Tesla.
He's yes. That is not even a joke, dude. He was just trying to kill him off and his ideas and everything. The electric chair, that came from Edison, you know? Trying to make AC power look bad, you know? Like these little things, these games back then they used to play.
Yep.
Great, but like, electricity doesn't advance, dude. I think we could be so much further.
But doing it now would be like reinventing the wheel. It would be so unorthodox to restart that process, I feel like. You know, obviously, you know, there may be some dude that like has a boatload of money, like a Batman type dude who's figured it out and like, but like the stories, but the stories that you hear, like anybody who's attempted it to do it the way he did, they literally were found and killed. Well, there was a USC professor of some physics, something like that, who like figured out free energy again. And then they found him and burned his shit, and
there
he
is
died.
something that tells me that the battery solution has been solved, and we just don't know about it because they don't want you to know about it.
Exactly. Well, because it's such a lucrative market, man.
But then I think
how many batteries are sold every day?
Hold on here. All right. You discover this and have this technology, you really gonna shelve it? You're gonna make your money off of it like you know you could. Why would you not? So why would they shelve it without?
Because it's the people who are taking it down are not the people who are making it.
But
People who are taking it down are the ones whose money is going to be affected by them.
You have to buy the patent. You've got to do something. Otherwise, you can't keep this down. How do you keep it down long term? How do you keep some tech like this down?
There's that much money wrapped around it, dude.
I know.
How much money is wrapped around it? Dude, Georgia Power alone is worth so much money, dude.
Well,
and then you have like that, like the Texas. You know how much money is involved in Texas Energy? And they're like its own energy.
Yeah.
Energy, like own power company.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's such a lot. It's like the pharmaceutical industry times 4.
Well, look, this is where I do think that Tesla plays a role in the fact that, or I should say, Elon Musk plays a role through his company, Tesla.
Sure.
Where you can get off the grid, but still provide to the grid.
Yes.
And like have your own power system essentially, but you can still, if you have extra power, you can give it to some other person on the grid who needs it, kind of a thing. And this is like the first ability to get off and not have to worry about centralized system and utility, kind of a thing. Which just, dude, we really could have some really cool. I think we really could.
We could.
It's being held back, and it continues to get held back.
And it's the fact that I know about Nikola Tesla. That's so upsetting.
Yeah.
You know, because if I didn't know about all that, I would be totally okay with everything that's going on.
But once you realize,
but once you wake up and like see some stuff,
why don't we have wireless electricity?
Why isn't it just not wireless?
100 years ago they were doing this. Why don't we have it today? 100 years ago, man. They didn't even really have cars.
Probably even before that, man. You knew what the Egyptians were up to.
That's true, actually.
You know, the motherboard, like I saw this image, and it's like the motherboard of a computer put next to side an aerial view of the pyramids of Giza. Not the pyramids of Giza. No, actually, it was the pyramids, the Mayan pyramids. They looked the exact same, like an aerial view of the Mayan pyramids and a computer motherboard.
If aliens existed, then look. It's a two-parter. One, if aliens existed and came down, then they obviously had to have been exposed to technology, at the very least. Number two, let's just take aliens out of the picture again. I have a question on a lot of what our human culture was doing a long time ago. The older I get and the more we are discovering history and the more I'm reading things, I'm starting, and I'm not saying this is like a thing, but I'm starting to really think that there might have been we may have been more advanced than we think we were, but we all died off from something, and then we had to start over again. And like start over again.
Yep.
And here we are, thousands of years later.
I feel like we're in the middle of it right now.
Yeah, we're trying to get back. I think we're still not back to where we would have been if this is
because if we were, we would be dying right now.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, what did it? What caused it?
Because it's not no COVID vaccine. It's something much larger.
For sure. For sure.
Vaccine, excuse me. Just COVID in general.
I don't know, though.
Vaccine's been on my mind for a minute.
No, I do wonder, though, like, maybe it's not nuclear weapons we need to be worrying about.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Well, because nuclear weapons can't stop the time.
Can't stop time?
Well, that's just a Bob Marley lyric.
I was like, wait, what? That's actually good. I like that.
Yeah, that's a lovely Bob Marley lyric. You should check it out.
I don't know. I don't know what we should be fearing for our future. Exactly. I don't think that it's going to be in my lifetime.
I don't either.
Whatever happens, it is coming and ain't coming in my lifetime.
Yep.
But that's just me.
It's crazy to think about, though.
How long have we been going?
We're at 34.
Okay. You want to talk about anything else? What do you want to talk about?
Man, I like this conversation about energy. It got me excited a little bit.
Yeah? All right, well, let's finish for the next 5 to 10 minutes on this. What else you got? I look this shit up all the time. I love this shit. I agree with you.
I think there's a lot of things in nature that really aid in the world of energy.
Where's your future of energy? Where do you see it? What do you see as
My future of
what your
energy
future? If we could go in some
is
direction,
totally my energy. My energy is my energy.
you want to own your own. You want to be off the grid.
Yeah, but I don't think it has to be called off the grid. I mean, sure, it can be.
I see
It
what you're
can
saying.
be
No,
off the grid.
But you want it to
but
be so
I don't.
common.
It
That's
shouldn't.
not the way
It shouldn't be
looks.
labeled like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be labeled.
Because you can still be on the grid.
I think it should just be something that's floating, just like oxygen in the air. And just if you have this thing, you get it.
So
if
what do
you
see
can
that
create
is?
this thing,
What do you see that being? What type of energy do you see this being?
What do you mean?
Is it gas powered?
No.
Is it solar powered?
No.
How do
It's
you?
just in the air.
But how? What does it come from? So you're saying you're talking about long
It comes
term.
from metals. It comes from metals, like things from Earth, like actual.
How does this device turn what into energy? So that's just this
It's
is
ju-
your
it's
future.
just something that
see
you could. It could be maybe you have like a big one that's for your house. Maybe you have a little one for like the table. Just sit it right there.
and it creates energy.
It's just like a little pyramid-looking thing. It's got some metal in there, maybe some copper, some metals like
Okay,
that, maybe
yeah.
some like stone, some like rocks, different materials,
It makes energy.
and it's just vroom, vroom,
It is.
just like that, just like that.
I partly don't even know if you're being serious.
No,
or
I'm
not.
100% being
Okay,
serious.
I just-
I'm in a joking way being serious.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Because I'm assuming you're talking about some kind of futuristic style device
I'm-
that creates energy.
But how do we know it's future? Maybe it's already been done.
Look, dude, if we really do have alien technology, which I think we do,
Or we did.
then we probably know about some energy. You know?
Mhm.
So, like, yeah, I totally agree with you on this one. I don't know, man. I guess you're almost saying in my head from everything I've looked into, it's like we haven't even discovered what we're going to be using yet. We don't know
To our
what it
knowledge,
is.
yeah.
You know, it's nothing of what because I don't see the end all be all for solar. I don't think
solar is.
I don't
the
think
right.
I think these are supplementary energy sources. They're great for what they do, but they're not. How do we grow as a civilization? It ain't gonna be solar and
I
wind.
think something that will make us grow as a civilization won't be something that makes somebody rich.
I disagree. Everything makes somebody rich.
I don't know,
So you don't know what it is, though.
but I don't think maybe the person who like, exposes it or like puts it out there gets rich, sure, but it is not something that is constantly supplementing someone's pocket. It will be free,
Interesting. Because
or it is free.
I see it as like I'm gonna be honest with you. I go down like the radiation road. I almost feel like
I think that's too harmful to a human's anatomy.
if it's not contained properly. But I think like anything, if it
But I think
evolves,
it's just if it's just like out there. Is that what you're saying? If it's just like out,
no, I think
radiation
like
everywhere?
like a nuclear reactor, like a nuclear power plant.
that stuff just still sketches me out.
It's funny that it sketches people out.
And
I
obviously,
don't blame you
Well,
for
but
a
obviously,
certain
I
way.
haven't
I
done the
don't.
research you have on it.
I don't blame you. I really don't. But at the same time, it could provide, like, all right, we've all had accidents in all energy sources. Now, have they been as big as Chernobyl and things like that?
Yeah.
No. But that also should tell you that's got to be one hell of an energy source.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that not, if we could harness that and make it clean and not have to worry about it being Chernobyl, maybe we got something. We know, and I'm not trying to say like
Sure.
nuclear's it.
Yeah.
And like,
But
don't get me wrong, I'm scared of that shit too. I don't even want to go to Chernobyl,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's under a sarcophagus, and they're like, it's cool, you can roam around this area. Can I? I don't know if I want to, but then I
Yeah.
think about it. You know what? My grandmother lived to be 104. She roamed around Hiroshima before, just after the bomb dropped.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that story.
She had to have been exposed to some levels
And
of
that was a
radiation.
nuclear. But that was was that nuclear?
It's a nuclear bomb. That was the
When you
first.
say nuclear for a while,
Nuclear. Yeah.
I feel like I say it
Nuclear.
weird. Nuclear.
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 Yeah, it was like
Nuclear.
Hiroshima was the first one. Nagasaki was the second
Yes,
one.
yes.
So Hiroshima would have been the first nuclear bomb ever dropped on a civilization. It's
See, and
they're the only two
that's another
vulnerabilities.
thing. I don't think the thing that will be the end all be all for energy in our lifetime is going to be something wars are created off of. But that's just like
And I don't blame you.
the
I don't
inner
blame you.
like lover in me. You
Yeah,
know,
and I don't blame you for that. To be honest with you, I don't know. I just see this nuclear power source and think this is powerful. And nuclear
sure,
in general is like, oh my god, powerful. But I think like really in the end of the day, it's going to come from like a star or black hole or something in the future.
I think it's going to be something that's like
Or
already there.
Or you're right. Yeah,
Something that's just
you're
there.
right. You're right.
It just has to be like put together. It just has to be looked at.
We
that
probably
way,
already have it. We probably already, because it probably powers. How do you power that ship? Like Bob Lazar talks about how we actually fly these things. Well, how do you turn it on, man? We think we could put some jet fuel in that thing and it's just gonna fly? So like, it's got to be powered somehow. We must be able to replicate. I'm not saying we know exactly how it works, but we must be able to harness it, work on it, and do it.
Yep.
And it must be still working.
I also see in the near future places that people have overlooked will become places that hold a lot of resources, priceless things.
Yeah, things that we need. Yeah.
Like,
I'm not going to argue with that.
Like, I truly think Africa is a place that, like, for far too long has been overlooked.
Oh, yeah. It's a massive place. And
there's a lot
untapped.
There's a lot of different kinds of ecosystems.
Oh, for sure.
If you look, because I'm a Google Earth nerd. I love to just like zoom in.
Yo, me too.
I'll just zoom in.
Yeah.
And see what I find.
Yeah.
If you look top to bottom, side to side, the amount of different land.
Yeah, for sure.
You're seeing.
Yeah. Well, because the top part of Africa is really in line with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like Morocco and Egypt is really in line with Alabama and
Algeria.
like really, so like you're getting our style ecosystems actually for the most part there, because I've noticed through Google Maps that like it really plays a part into where you are according to the equator. The closer the certain distance, you have these green areas and these desert areas.
Like light brown. Like,
yes. No trees.
No trees.
No life.
No greenery.
Correct. No, which means to me, when I see no greenery, is no water.
Well, yeah, but
it's
there's
dry.
Stuff deeper down.
For sure, dude. That's too much land. There's something down there.
Imagine how much sand, like miles of sand piled up.
Yeah.
What's below that?
For sure. Oh, dude.
Because you can go a couple feet below that, and there's these things that we used to pick out in the desert, and they're like these mad like can't think of how to, like, really crazy patterns, and it's like I don't know how it's created, but it's like geometrical, like
and
it's just like you go a couple feet down in the sand and you can dig one up.
Weird.
What
is the sand making them?
Sand makes it.
It's
like it is a thing of sand, but it's like kind of like glassy. We have a couple at my house.
Yeah, like it's either compressed or been struck by lightning.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Struck by lightning,
it gets struck by lightning and it becomes
all
like
just
this
glass ball.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah,
but imagine like deeper down when there's layers of, because if you think about like geology, like an agate, for example. So you have in Lake Superior, like in northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, you have what's called a Lake Superior agate, which is a 2-million-year-old rock.
Did not know this.
This is a 2-million-year-old rock. I found one when I lived down there.
Yeah.
It was like tiny, and I spent like 3 months every morning going there trying to find one. I found one day.
2 million.
Obviously, I was very new to this, and if I had like researched well enough, I could have found one. Sooner, but I was just like having fun with it. It was awesome. I would like watch the sunrise. It was cool. But imagine like there may be energy within that we don't know how to use, and we don't even know what kind of civilization was here when this like form was created. If you look at it like Superior agate, they're really cool looking.
I'll show you. I'll show you one. That's cool.
I have a couple. Like I bought some.
2 million years is a long time, dude.
2 million.
It makes you that's million. 2 million we're so insignificant that 2 million years is but a blimp on Earth's timeline. But a little dot. And we are but a microscopic dot upon 2
So
million.
why do we worry all the time, man? God.
I don't know. We're
Why do we
human.
worry?
You know why? Because your brain makes you.
Yeah. Keeps you alive.
It does.
Keeps you finding the next challenge.
It always, everybody I feel like scientist-wise always go back to like, well, in primitive times, you know, humans used to be like this. And so therefore we had to be like this, you know, and I'm like, well,
To
you
get
know
to
what?
where
That's
this is.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't not make sense.
Right.
Like we don't have to worry about shit compared. I get so pissed when people tell me how like terrible life is or anything like that. I'm like, dude, you want to go back?
Yeah.
Give me a generation you got to go back to.
Have you ever seen a time travel movie?
Yeah, like you're not seeing that every time they go back, like they're about to get their head chopped off by someone on a horse. Like you don't do it.
Or there's
man.
just like a Nazi right there, you know?
Yes, for real.
Come on.
Like you don't do this. Yeah, no, I think like no, this is by far the best life humans could ever live, for sure, as far as we know.
And that brings up something. The present moment is the only moment you can live. So why would it be any worse or better than anything else?
Okay, we're gonna end on this.
Okay.
I read the best comment ever that had to do with this, and I
Okay.
wish I could read it to you verbatim so you could really grasp how great it really is. But ultimately, he says it was on like a explain like I'm 5 ask Reddit type of thing, and so like people are just like thinkers go on here and just write this shit. So this person was pretty much, I forgot the initial question, but this guy got down to it and he was like, your molecules and your cells are always changing. They're always dying off. New ones are always being built. So really, you're never the same person. You're not who you were 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Your body is not. Only your mind is.
Well,
only your mind.
Mine acts like it is, though.
Well, yes, but like the cells
Sure.
that exist
Sure,
of
sure,
the
sure,
brain
sure, sure, sure.
are the same that you probably had when you were like 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Those don't change.
Mm-hmm.
But your body, those all change. Those all have life cycles. Those all die. Those all have. So, like he was saying, you can only live in the moment because you'll never be who you were, and you're never going to be like you're going to change tomorrow. So you can really only be this right now, right now. So live in the moment because you'll never be this person again. Literally, you'll never be this person again. Everything about you will end up changing and dying off. You won't feel it, you won't know it, but it's happened.
Mm.
You know, and it's like, wow, it really does kind of like, this is not the same skin that I had 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've shed all that off. Not the same hair, it's not the same body, you know, like kind of a new person. If you really do think about it, all my cells have died off and new ones have regenerated, and really nothing exists except for my brain matter from when I was 2 years old. You know, it's crazy. Like we do keep things from when like my daughter's age.
Mm-hmm.
Her brain is going to retain these things forever in some deep dark way. She may not be able to access a lot of it.
Sure.
But like that idea is just crazy to me that like
that's baffling.
you really should just live in the moment because you will only be this person right now.
And you have no choice.
You have no choice.
What other option do you have?
Nah, let it go, people.
Let it go.
Let it go, people. I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode of What's in Your World. We go all over the place, but that's why I love it. This is us. Peace.
Bye.